there's a long line. We'll get to that. Not just anyone can get in.
All right, well, look, the jury begins deliberating on Harvey Weinstein case today. Here with the inside scoop is a girl, you've been messing with our show for a long time. This is Elizabeth Wagmeister. Look. And the great thing about having Elizabeth here for the Weinstein case is that she goes into the courtroom. She's got the press pass. She sits there and is actually getting the real action.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So what's going on?
So Wendy, as we were just talking about, I have been in court every single day. The Harvey Weinstein
Do you wear that?
I do not wear this.
Okay.
I'm going right to court.
Harvey would like that.
I'm going right to court after this, and I will be putting on not Wendy clothes.
Okay.
I showed up for you. But so this trial, it started on January 6th. I have been in court every single day. Well, closing arguments were last week. Today, the jury starts deliberating. Literally, Wendy, as we are speaking, the jury has begun deliberation.
Talk fast, you're missing stuff.
So that means the verdict could come as soon as today. They could also take days, weeks. We don't know when it's coming, but it could come today. Now, Harvey Weinstein, he has been accused by over 90 women of everything ranging from sexual misconduct to rape. But here's the thing with this trial. This case largely rests on the allegations of just 2 women because the statute of limitations for a lot of the other women has passed. Now,
Does he wear an ankle bracelet?
He does wear an ankle bracelet, yes. So these 2 women, their names are Miriam Haley and Jessica Mann. They are the key witnesses in this case, Wendy.
Okay.
And he's facing 5 charges. And by the way, the maximum sentence is life in prison.
Oh. What's the minimum sentence?
Well, it depends. You know, he could get acquitted, and also it's complex because since there's 5 charges, he can be charged on any number of them. So, you know, each charge, if, for instance, he is charged with sexual assault for Miriam Haley, then that sentence could be from 5 years to 25 years.
And then he's got to go to California, England, like he's got a whole bunch of places to be tried because he's been doing this all around the world.
Yes, the Los Angeles DA has also charged him with rape and sexual assault. So he's also facing charges, as you said, in LA.
Do you think that he will go to jail?
You know,
give me the temperature going on in there.
Okay, so it's complicated. I mean, any rape case is very hard to prove. Actually, most sexual assault cases do not end up in a conviction because they're largely a he said, she said case. Now, this particular case, as I said, it rests on 2 women. So that's very complicated. You know, during jury selection, Harvey's defense kept saying to the potential jurors, you need to just focus on what's in the court. You cannot focus on the stories. You can't focus on the Me Too movement. This is about what's in court.
Right.
So what's complicated about this is these women, they went back to Harvey after. There is evidence of texts.
Yeah, I know. I heard.
Calls.
I know.
And that's what the defense has largely been
One of them called him, you are my soulmate.
Yes. But here's the thing. The prosecution, they brought in an expert witness. Her name is Dr. Barbara Ziv, and she is a forensic psychiatrist who specializes in victims of sexual assault.
Okay.
She explained that trauma victims, rape victims, it's very normal to go back to your perpetrator. In fact, it's abnormal if you don't. So to continue this communication, it's complex, and we'll see if the jury can get past that.
How does Harvey look in the court?
Well, as you've seen, we all know about the walker, right? So Harvey Weinstein, he has been coming into court every single day with the walker. He looks very frail, very feeble.
Does he look dusty? like his suits aren't cleaned?
Yes, the suits are wrinkled, I'll tell you that.
Thank you.
The suits are wrinkled. The hair is not brushed.
Does he stay awake?
Sometimes, but sometimes not. So here's the thing. This has been a long trial. Sometimes I've spotted him. You know, I'm in the courtroom every day. I've seen him at the defendant's table, sometimes dozing off, doing one of these.
Does he slump?
He scribbles notes a lot.
Okay.
He chews on gum or mints or something. But I will tell you, despite this frail, feeble look, walking in with a walker, by the way, he had back surgery from a car accident in August. That's why his defense says he is a walker.
Right.
A lot of people are wondering if it's fake. Harvey Weinstein says it is not fake. But despite this frail and feeble look, he's in very good spirits. He walks into court every day. He says hello to the press. He smiles. He laughs. And after closing arguments, were Friday, and I was there, I have to tell you, he was very confident. After his defense gave their closing arguments, and they were strong. They were very effective, Wendy. He walked out. He walked out, and we asked how it was, and he said to the press that his attorney's speech was the Queen's speech. That's what he said.
And that's why we at Wendy had to call you, because I'm done with this case. I'm very confused. even if not guilty, he still faces the other trials.
Yes.
And they're gonna happen like right away, like right after New York is done, he flies right to LA.
You know, we don't know that exactly yet, but I can tell you this is not going anywhere. So whatever happens with this trial, whether he's acquitted or not, he, as you said, will be facing charges in LA. There's other investigations going on overseas. But Wendy, something that I think you might be interested in, one of the most shocking parts of the case, because everyone asks, what was the most shocking part of being in court? Well, one of the women described Harvey's genitalia as, I knew she'd be into it, as deformed. That is the word. That is the word that she used on the stand. And that's the thing with these cases. It gets really nasty. It gets really into the nitty-gritty.
Well, we don't know that it's deformed, but that's what you...
Well, the jury was given photos of Harvey Weinstein.
How did they get photos?
So the DA's office, the Manhattan DA's office, they took naked photos of Harvey for evidence.
Not the Michael Jackson.
They showed the jury.
Oh my gosh.
They showed the jury. I did not see them. Press was not allowed. And the
deformed
jury...
Why? Because it leans a little to the left? That's not deformed.
No, read my reporting on Variety.com, because I don't like saying these things on national TV, but there are some serious details that not just Jessica Mann said, by the way.
Say it. You're a grown woman. Talk to me.
All right, Wendy. Well, one of the women, she said she was not sure if the testicles were there or not. And then another woman, and then she said that she wasn't sure if the other part was there either. And then another woman, Lauren Young, who she is another witness. The charges don't rest on her, but she also echoed Jessica Mann's description. So they showed the jury photos. The jury, they shuffled through them really quickly. The jury, it's very hard to tell what they're thinking. They're very stone cold. When they got these photos, that was the one time I saw a reaction.
I'd be like, what the hell is this? Look.
But the defense... So Harvey Weinstein's defense team, during closing arguments, they brought up the naked photos. They said there was no reason for those to be shown other than to humiliate him. So that's the point that they brought up in closing arguments.
Elizabeth, what do you eat all day? Because can you smuggle in a sandwich?
Well, you're technically not allowed to eat in the courtroom.
But what do you do?
I go into the hallway and I file my story and I eat a granola bar. I eat my almonds.
So you've lost like 25 pounds being on this case.
No, here's the thing. With being a journalist, people often think it's glamorous because they see this. They see the dress. They see I'm sitting with Wendy Williams.
Yeah.
But really, we're sitting in a courtroom, and we have to do the work. And this is a very important story to get out there. It's a monumental trial. It's the first trial of the Me Too movement because Cosby was before that. So there's a lot resting on this case.
Saying, why am I under house arrest?
There's a lot resting on this case. The stakes are very, very high. I've been interviewing a lot of women who have accused Harvey Weinstein for an upcoming story that'll be coming out in Variety. So